Now we got Robbie Lawler and Bryan Barberena. Now
this is one I've been waiting to talk about right here. I got a big issue with Bryan Barberena.
What's that?
I was one of those people that was originally in love with Sage Northcutt. And I always thought, like, Bryan Barberena, he was all right. And I was so hurt back in 2016 when he ultimately took young Sage Northcutt away. I liked like his whole style. And Bryan Barberena like robbed me of my moment. I like all the way to like when Dana White looking for a fight, all this other stuff. And I was so happy when like I think Leon Edwards beat him like the next time or like the time of like his first loss, like after that, I was so happy. But I was like, man, I hated that.
He was praying on his downfall like that.
I was, man, because I like Sage and I thought Sage could, I think with some time, he could have been cold.
I remember that.
Man, you really remember all the details, man. It's funny because Sage had a big old like following, but I just never met none of them people in real life until now because it was all on the internet, and I was like, bro, like, what did y'all see in Sage, bro? Like,
man, but you listen, Sage was like strong on the board. He did all the karate, he did all that other stuff. He had really great balance. Like when he fought, like a lot of dudes, like you could tell when a dude is heavy. Like when you got a heavy fighter, they react different. Like the guy was nice and all that other stuff, and all that other stuff is that's cool for like TV and stuff. But when he fought, they was like dudes was really having a tough time with like he just didn't have any ground game. But like when he was on top of them punches was hitting, man. They was really effective.
And I'm looking at his UFC record, bro. The reality is, bro, he only lost 2 times in the UFC, bro. He won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He was 6-2 in the UFC, bro. And people would say he was overrated. That's crazy. We got to make a video. We got to make a separate video on that because I just realized that, honestly. He lost to Mickey Gall and Bryan Barberena. First of all, Bryan Barberena probably had 20-odd fights at that time, to be honest. So he had way more experience.
And he had no ground game, and Mickey Gall took advantage of that. Just like, and that's what he
took advantage of it.
I know. But because if it was a stand-up fight, he was gonna piece Mickey up. You know what I'm saying? So
he took advantage of my boy and just choked him.
Like, how y'all feel about the Bryan and Matt Brown fight?
I mean, that fight was I don't know, man.
Because I think Matt Brown won.
I think Matt Brown won, but
I'm with you on that one.
Oh, you didn't see that one?
No, actually, I think Matt Brown won too. I thought
Matt did enough. And then normally they don't rob people in their hometown. But of course, in Cleveland, that would be the city where you don't get no hometown cooking. But what you think, Rob? What you think gonna happen in this fight? Because Robbie looked good in the Nick Diaz fight, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Robbie
and that broke his losing streak.
Robbie's one of my favorite fighters, mainly because Robbie one of the only fighters that I know that don't warm up before his fights.
Wait, what?
So he's sitting in the locker room the whole time. And then when the fight go out, he just go out and bang.
But that explained why he was 2-5 in his last 7 fights.
But he been like that forever. He's always been that guy. He never, ever. He always just goes out there and bang. Like he might do some like walk around like light cardio. He don't throw no hands. He don't do none of that pad stuff. Nothing. He go out there and bang.
That's probably why he tore his knee in the RDA fight.
That's a fact.
He ain't stretching or nothing. This dude crazy.
He might stretch, but he's like, I remember Joe Rogan said that. He was like, he do not warm up before fights. He just go out there and bang.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Man, no, man, he had shoulder. Did he have shoulder surgery? And like he can remember, Robbie hadn't fought in a long time, and I want to say that he had some surgeries or something that was going on. I wonder if they got anything to do with it, because that's man. Of course, Robbie would be the guy to be that crazy. Now, what you think will happen in this fight? Because Robbie is, I'm hoping for Robbie to get a TKO win because I like Robbie, man. To go into all of the different places that he fought and to go to Strike Force, but he fought in the Elite XC. If you remember them days,
Yep.
Elite XC, man, Strike Force, IFL, Icon Sport, Pride, Super Brawl, bro. Man, look, for him to go and do all that, come back, win the UFC belt. Look, we don't see that all the time. Like, to be honest, we see actual champions come over and lose their UFC title shot in a fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he actually got on a win streak, won the title, did dang good, to be honest. And he lost to a prime Tyron Woodley. And ain't no shame in that,
That's one of my favorite
fights. We saw Robbie Lawler get a highlight reel knockout.
His last fight against Nick Diaz.
No, prior to that, man.
Well, his last win before that was Donald Cerrone, but his last win before that was a split decision to Carlos, which that took a lot out of him because they went to war. And then it was the Rory McDonald fight in 2015.
Man, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. I ain't gonna lie.
I could see Bryan putting together a game plan.
I ain't gonna lie.
To be honest with you, man.
I could kind of see Bryan doing something here, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, consistency. He's been that guy who's been fighting recently. Yeah. I mean, but then you ask guys like Dominic Cruz who don't believe in ring rust. You know what I'm saying? They don't believe in none of that. So, he could be well rested. You know what I'm saying? I feel like wars matter. But I don't think that between him and Rory McDonald, I don't think them wars ever wear off. Like, ever. It's that JDS thing. It's like, once you've been banging like that, like, I don't think Overeem should ever fight again after that Ngannou thing. I don't think you should ever fight.
Some of that stuff stick with you. And that actually might play into Bryan Barberena being able to do a little bit more here than people might give him credit for. Now, one thing is I do see that Bryan Barberena was TKO'd here by Vicente and Randy Brown. So that could play. And Robbie looked dang good in that Nick Diaz fight, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He looked like the old Robbie. Maybe that was because he was fighting Nick Diaz, but he looked good. What's your final prediction?
This is tough, man. Like, this is almost 50-50. Oh, man. But he is a, prolific knockout artist. He's fighting against somebody who's, I don't think he can take down.
I think Bryan take a lot of damage, too. A lot of unnecessary damage trying to be tough.
I don't think he can do that against Robbie, though. I think because Robbie is, I think there's a blueprint to beat Robbie.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You know what I mean? But, yeah, man, probably I want Robbie to win by highlight reel knockout, but realistically, I think Bryan.
But I don't think Bryan got the type of wrestling to do that. Like, he got beat by Colby Covington, Ben Askren, Rafael Dos Anjos, Tyron Woodley. Bryan Barberena ain't none of those people.
And Robbie did hurt Ben. You remember that?
Yeah, and really that finish was actually messed up because he didn't tap. Like, it was a weird, the referee messed
very
up.
Weird. And he went 3 rounds. Was it 3 or 4? Sorry, 3 or 5 with Kobe.
Yep. 5 rounds. 5 rounds
with Kobe. Bro, that's not. And Kobe, listen, I don't like Kobe Covington, but
he's he would be the champion if Kamaru wouldn't. That's what I've been saying.
A real killer. You know what I'm saying? A real one.
So I mean, that ain't bad, man. So I'm gonna pick Robbie. I don't necessarily know if I see a TKO. I hope that I get a TKO win, but I'm gonna pick him by decision at least.
I'm going with the sweetheart choice. I'm gonna go with Robbie.